I'd like to call to order the July 28th Town Council meeting. We stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mike Aurelio.
Here.
Brian Blazak.
Present.
Wayne Pondinas.
Present.
Michael Schilling.
Here.
Gerald Swatz.
Present.
Chris Salatis.
Present.
David Westland.
Present.
And Beth Hernandez present.
Okay, so we have a quorum. Item number 4 is the approval of the minutes of the June 23rd, 2021 regular meeting and the July 7th, 2021 special meeting. Any comments or corrections?
Yes, I would like to comment on the June 23rd meeting. That's when we had, I think it was D for the arts group. I decided to defer, or wanted to defer the last part of that. And Mr. Blazak said, no, it's all or nothing. And by doing so, with Chris and Mr. Westland joining in that discussion, the town saved $17,830. And I'd like to have that. I had asked Margaret today to redo that, and she did, but she didn't put that in there word for word. I would like that in a record for that, because thanks to Chris and his discussions, the town saved $17,830.
So that's on item D? I'm sorry.
I think it was item D on that. Yeah. Well, you can see where I expressed the desire to defer certain items of the amendment to the agreement with the arts group.
Yes.
Then Brian said, no, it's all or nothing.
Okay.
And I want that to be in the minutes, in the written minutes.
It is.
Yeah, it says entirety.
Said Mr. Blazak responded that the agreement needed to be approved in its entirety.
But I wanted it to be word for word.
I'm sorry?
I said I wanted it to be word for word, that it was all or nothing. And that's what he said, so that's just my opinion.
Council, if I would, Councilman Pondinas, your comment, if you would look on the next one, the special meeting minutes for July 7th, item C.
I think it brings it back out.
Second paragraph, yeah, it does say there that there was a cost savings of the $17,830.
Right.
So you want the cost savings in the?
No, I want
all or nothing.
I want all or nothing in there. That's what he said. I mean, and I always encourage people to ask questions, and that's what I did. And by asking questions, sometimes you can save money. So I think that, that's only fair.
So can I?
We're all in agreement with that, so.
Right.
So can I clarify?
Please.
So, Wayne, what I hear you saying is the issue you have is with the June 23rd, 2021 minutes, not the July 7th minutes.
Right, not the July 7th, no.
So what you could do, and I'm not trying to push you to do whatever, it's your decision, but you could make a motion to defer the minutes of June 23rd, 2021 to go back and listen to the tape so that section could be put in.
Redone and retyped and put in there in the written minutes.
And so the motion would be to defer June 23rd, 2021 and approve July 7th, 2021.
Right, that's the same, basically the same thing I wanted to do.
Okay,
So we can do that.
So
So I'd like to make a motion for the June 23rd, 2021 meeting, regular meeting minutes to be changed to what he said verbally, what Mr. Blazak said verbally, and accept the July 7th, 2021 meeting minutes.
So your motion will be to defer the June 23rd, 2021 regular meeting minutes until they can be corrected.
Right.
So is there support for that motion?
So as long as we're clear on this, so we're deferring June 23rd's regular meeting minutes, where we can review what was said.
Right.
And we're approving July 7th.
Nope, the motion,
That motion hasn't been made.
the motion is to,
Just deferring to 23rd.
we're just deferring the 23rd.
Okay, I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. That is deferred. Do I have a motion to approve the July 7th, 2021 special meeting minutes?
So move.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. That is approved 5-0. Okay. Public comment. We have 2 names signed up. Susie Gonzalez. If you would come up, state your name and address.
My name is Susie Gonzalez. I'm a representative of All Pro Towing, 1040 Kennedy Avenue in Cherryville. With the growth of the town, I'm respectfully asking that we are added to the tow rotation. I know that we were not recommended, but here are reasons why I think we should be added. When All Pro Towing was let go in 2020, year-to-date, Chief Flores stated there were 128 tows and that there wasn't a need for a third towing company, so All Pro was dropped. Our electronic records show we did 87 tows for St. John Police in that same time period. Why would you let go of the company that did over 60% of your tows? We never had a complaint from the police. In fact, early on after being added to St. John's list, we were sent on a tow that a police officer said was going to be a doozy because it was in a ditch by Tractor Supply and going to take a while. All Pro had it out in 15 minutes. The officer then came to our shop the next day wanting to tell us what a fantastic job we did on the tow. That officer, for the record, was Steve Flores, now Chief Flores. This was tow call 8407, a 2005 Silver Monte Carlo, on May 9th, 2019 at 9:12 p.m. All Pro Towing does everything electronically through Tow Book. Every tow has pricing listed on receipt, pictures to back it up. There is a history listed for each ticket, so you cannot change anything without anybody knowing. We do not handwrite receipts like other companies. Our pricing was listed on our proposal, also unlike other companies that were recommended for rotation. All Pro Towing has nothing to hide. With the growth of the town, the people of St. John and anyone traveling through this town deserve nothing but the best tow firms and have multiple options, so there is the least amount of waiting. We feel we are one of the best tow firms in the area, with a proven track record with the St. John Police. St. John should have a third tow company on rotation, and we respectfully ask that you reconsider and add All Pro Towing. I did print out what I said as well as a summary from Tow Book. I have 6 copies here. I'm not sure who to hand them to, so they're on the record.
I'll take them. And did you, I guess, are you finished then?
Yeah, I am.
So I have one question. Did you make the same statement to the safety board?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I read that same thing, and I ended it all to them. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I was at the last safety board meeting and did read that top part to them, as well as handed them that and the summary.
Okay.
Is there any other questions, or?
No, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Because I need them for road. Thank you.
And Mr. Terry Nelleman.
Good evening, Council. My name is Terry Nelleman. My wife is Catherine Nelleman. We reside at 9500 West, 9500 West 103rd Place. We recently got contacted by Lennar in regards to issues with the home, major issues with the home. It's dated June 29th. I don't have a copy for you. I did come a little bit unprepared. But in the past, I have come very well prepared for you with documentation galore. The main question I have for you is, we have in Lennar's building of these homes, these Matisse homes, A, B, and C, plus others, they have a structural issue with the floor, major structural issue with the floor. Approximately, to repair this issue in our home will be $140,000 to $160,000, okay? Very familiar with contractual work, very familiar with lumber, stuff like that. It's easy to get a takeoff from a lumber yard. The main concern is the labor, which would be the difference between the cost of material and the cost to perform the job safely and completely. The question I have for you, there's always been an issue in regards to the major issue in regards to permits and inspections. The question I have is, at $140,000 to $160,000 to repair one home's main structure floor, will there be a permit that would have to be applied for? That's a question.
You want an answer to that?
Yep. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
So you would have to probably go to our building and planning director and talk to Sergio there, and he could tell you what permits are needed or
Okay,
required
well,
for.
Lennar has always applied for the permits for their buildings, which naturally we are the homeowner now. But the question is, on $140,000 to $160,000 repair to repair the structural deficiency of these floors, they would need a permit, correct?
I don't know that.
Not necessarily.
Would they need submit a document to the building department on what they're gonna do and how they're gonna do it?
Depends on what they're gonna do.
You'd have to talk to the building department on that. As the business owner, or as the homeowner, I think that's a permit that, if it needs to be done, you need to talk to our building department to find out if a permit needs to be pulled for that, or not. I don't have that answer.
But as far as the council's concerned, would the council think that with $140,000 to $160,000 repair, that you would think that a permit and inspections would be necessary?
We don't wanna commit to anything.
Well, question, what's wrong, what could possibly be wrong that's $160,000? Do you mind, I'd love to know.
No,
right,
Mr.
so-
Aurelio, I would like to explain it to you with no problem. The thing is,
And I know we don't want to go super.
You need to go,
Maybe you can email me or something with that. I would love to know.
I'm not computer savvy,
Or go to
but
his
I
house
would be
and-
glad
Yeah.
to have you come to my house, and I'd be glad to show it to you.
Yeah.
Because in the past, me and my wife, well, I was the one here, but my wife doesn't know exactly what I'm talking about. But the thing is I would be glad to show you, I would be honored to show you what's going on with these homes that were built by Lennar. And our homeowners, our neighbors, the taxpayers, your constituents, your residents that you ask for their votes. These are the people that are living in these homes. Some of these homes have been sold already. And, the city clerk can tell you that, what basically on the records. But Mr. Aurelio, I know you're in the blind here because you weren't here when I provided the whole council with the documents.
Do you have a bid for your $140,000 to $160,000 estimate?
No, sir. No, sir, that's not a bid. No, that's not a bid.
What number is that?
That's my number. That's my number to have it corrected. Because Lennar's method of 8 to 10 2x4s to correct the problem of saggy floors, bouncing floors, 8 to 10 2x4s do not correct it.
So
The
could
doc-
you do me a huge favor? Could you make copies and just drop them off at the town? I've got a mailbox here.
I'd be
I'll come
glad
pick 'em up. I'd
to.
love
I'll
look
give
at
you
them.
a set of both documents that I provided the council with.
Right.
And
Just to keep our meeting running efficiently. I would,
Oh.
I would love to see that. So,
no problem. And I would love to show you what has been done in the town of St. John.
Thank you.
We own the poster child of these dangerous homes that were built in St. John by Lennar. Mr. Aurelio, I will get you your documents as soon as I can, and I'm hopefully looking forward to you to meet at the house, and let me show you, let me pour you a cup of coffee on our kitchen island, and you just walk around that kitchen island, you just watch that water bounce out of that cup of water.
Thank you.
Or boiling water on the oven. Thank you very much.
okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Anything emailed in, Beth?
No.
Okay, we will go on to item number 6, new business. 6A is to consider the acceptance of subdivision bond in the amount of $112,514.94 on behalf of Altoff Homes for Summerlin Estates Phase 3. This received a favorable recommendation from the Plan Commission. Any comments? Mr. Salatas?
This received a favorable recommendation from the Plan Commission. and I would recommend approval.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the subdivision bond in the amount of $112,514,094 on behalf of Olthoff Homes LLC for the Summerlin Estates Phase 3.
Okay, is there support for that?
Second.
Thank you, Mike. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. It is approved 5-0. Item B, consider acceptance of the subdivision bond in the amount of $81,077.75 on behalf of Altough Homes LLC for Walding Clearance Phase 3. This also comes with a favorable recommendation from the Plan Commission. Mr. Salatas, any other comments?
Nope, these received, sorry, this received a favorable recommendation, as you stated, on the same night, and Plan Commission seemed to have, again, approved a favorable recommendation. I would have asked for the same.
Okay. Any questions or comments from the board?
No, I have nothing.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the subdivision bond in the amount of $81,077.75 on behalf of Altough Homes for Walden Clearing Phase 3.
There's support for that?
Second.
Thank you, Brian. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. It is approved 5-0. Item C, consider use variance request for the medical office at 9825 Wicker Avenue in the US 41 Overlay District. This also received a favorable recommendation from the Board of Zoning Appeals. Mr. Salatas?
So this received a 3-to-1 favorable recommendation from the Board of Zoning Appeals. I believe it does, the reason they needed the reason they needed to go to the BZA was because it does not comply with the 41 Overlay District, but as it shows here, it did receive a favorable recommendation.
Okay.
This is to go into the Strax. I believe it's going to fill a vacancy within the Strax building.
Vacancy.
Where Santerre Bank
From
was.
Santerre Bank, right. Okay. Any questions or comments from the board? Anybody have issues with this?
You're not.
Okay, then I will look for a motion.
Make a motion to accept the variance request for a medical office at 9825 Wicker Avenue in the US 41 Overlay District.
Is there support for that?
Second.
I don't want to get too nitpicky, but it's, you use the word accept, it'd be grant. Grant.
Grant. Strike that. Grant.
Sorry, I'm
problem.
not trying to be, I just want to make sure the record's,
Got it. Let me reword that. So we want to grant a variance for a medical office at 9825 Wicker Avenue in the US 41 Overlay District.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Is there support for that?
Second.
Thank you, Brian. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. That is approved. Item number D, consider awarding the 2021 police-directed towing services to Stan's Towing and to Kubiak Service and Towing. This received a favorable recommendation from the Safety Board. Mr. Salatas.
Yeah, so the Safety Board, and more specifically the Chief of Police, received, I believe, 4 bids for towing services. The 2, I believe, were selected. It received a unanimous favorable recommendation from the Safety Board, and I would recommend the same. This is for a 1-year towing contract.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to award Stans and Kubiak's Towing the 2021 Police-Directed Towing Services Contract.
Thank you, Mike. Is there
Second.
support for that? Thank you, Mike. Questions or comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. That is approved 5-0. Item number E, consider the sale of a 2023 Dodge Charger to the Linwood Police Department. Mr. Salatas.
So this is, we're going to be selling one of our used police vehicles to another government unit. Usually, these vehicles have a general lifespan of 7 years, so this one's hit its life and they run pretty hard. Usually by the end of their lives, they need transmissions replaced, so I would definitely recommend selling it to Linwood.
So do we have any?
I know it's,
Go ahead.
in the past, we've done it, and it's always been within your own state. Is there anything, since it's going out of state, that would make it any difficult to sell, or is it?
I would have to defer to Attorney Westland on that, but I personally don't see
No, I don't
an
think
issue
so.
there.
The only question I have is the memorandum doesn't say how much.
That was going to be my question.
That's going to be my question.
Look at that.
And I want to know if we can use it in town, or, yeah, what are our options?
Definitely, then, if that's the case, we can defer it until we have a cost and,
Well, I'd say if there's no cost on here and if it's
or a
deemed,
price, sorry.
if it's deemed,
Reasonable.
to get rid of it, then get the scrap value of the car and get a price for what the scrap value is and sell it for scrap value.
Well,
You might get more out of that. We used to sell them for almost scrap value, and then we went to that state site, and we're making more money on the equipment, Mike. So I think there should be I'm more comfortable having a price on it. And maybe
Yeah.
we have to defer it to
Yeah,
get a price.
I don't have a problem selling it, as long as we're
I don't have a
getting.
problem selling it.
We're getting value for it, and I think if everybody's of that mind, I wouldn't mind deferring this, until we actually have a dollar amount, or approving it. I don't know. It's up to you guys. I think we all want to do,
There's
kind
no
of do the
crisis
same
here of
thing.
selling it, right? So
There's no
yeah.
crisis. We can always
Okay.
sell it again, or look to sell it in a month.
Our market's hot, right? So-
Sell it again, huh?
It's only company value right now, everything, right? So,
Yeah, used car values are real high right now.
So do I have a motion to defer this? Is that what we want to do then?
That's fine.
So moved.
Thank you, Brian. Is there support
Second.
for that? Thank you, Wayne. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. That is deferred. So you'll take that back to the,
I'll get with the police chief.
okay. Item number F, ordinance 1738, which is an ordinance amending ordinance 1720 to pay bonuses to town employees who provided services for the fireworks celebration on July 3rd, 2021. I'm going to turn this one over to you, Mr. Westland, because this seemed to be your recommendation from what I understand, correct? Why we would do it this way, if you could explain?
Well, there was an issue with paying the overtime, so, and those folks did work over the holiday, so the idea was, how do I pay them the commensurate value without going into overtime? And my suggestion was, those that worked, you could figure out how much they would have gotten had they been paid overtime and pay them a one-time bonus, and I think that's what's reflected. For full-time employees, $120, and the part-time employees, $60, and it's in an ordinance form because you're actually paying them a wage, which is technically an amendment to your salary ordinance.
Okay. Questions or comments from the board?
so just to make sure, we're just not handing out bonuses here. These employees, they were working the fireworks, and we're basically paying a bonus, and it's based on hours worked. This is just a way to fulfill that.
That's
our
my
obligation to
that's
them.
my understanding. Yes.
Certainly
Like
good
some
with
of
that.
the employees had vacation time, and this was all thrown on them at one time within a few weeks' notice. So some of them canceled their vacation, or they stayed home and they had to make other arrangements. So I think this is only fair what Mr. Westland has come up with. I think it's a one-time thing, right, Dave?
Yes,
So-
and they have to be, that will be confirmed, I would imagine, through the town manager, that, the only people that are getting this are the ones that actually worked to make the fireworks show, by all accounts,
Just
a huge
people working
success.
hours, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Okay. So do I have, I'd like to consider a motion then. Do I have a motion?
Sure, I'll make a motion, let's see here, to accept,
Consider?
to consider ordinance number 1738, amending ordinance number 1720 to pay bonuses to town employees who provide services of fireworks on July 3rd, 2021.
On first reading?
Yep, on first reading.
Okay. Do I have support for that? That is approved 5-0. And so then, can I also have a motion then to adopt ordinance 1738, since we were unanimous?
So moved.
Thank you, Mike.
Second.
Thank you, Wayne. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. That is approved 5-0. Item number G is to consider the annual donation to the Northwest Indiana Cancer Kids in the amount of $1,000. Mr. Salatas.
As you stated, this is an annual donation. It's for an absolutely great cause, for, Kids for Cancer, and I would absolutely, without a doubt, recommend doing so.
Questions or comments?
September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, for the record as well.
Okay. So, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the $1,000 annual donation to Nick.
Okay, thank you, Wayne. Is there support for that?
Second.
Thank you, Brian. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. That is approved 5-0. Reports and correspondence. Town Council. Brian, do you have anything?
Not today, thanks.
Mr. Willio.
So I do. So we have some exciting news in Economic Development Committee. We're working on a waterfront, or riverfront district in our town, which would allow us to have an entertainment district, which would allow, to have additional restaurants. I know there's a appetite in town for restaurants and entertainment district. So we are inside Economic Development Committee. We're hard at work and having that process move forward. So
Right.
exciting news.
It is. Good. Anything else?
That's it.
Mr. Schilling.
I'd like to thank the Parks Department. They did a nice job on cleaning up Prairie West Park. I actually seen it on my way into the meeting tonight, and did a nice job cleaning up over the overgrowth and the vegetation along the lake. That's about it.
Okay. Mr. Pondinas.
I'll echo Mike's comments, and I'd like the residents that live along Joliet that are moving the barricades, please don't move the barricades. It's against the law. If you move a barricade and it causes an accident, you're going to be liable for it. A couple more, maybe another week, 10 days, and all that'll be done. I've been out there with the police department and trying to make the traffic flow a little bit better. Just be patient. Don't move the barricades, because you're going to be liable for accidents if that happens. Other than that, I'm done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And I have nothing. Beth?
No.
All right, staff. Mr. Salatas.
As you heard in the redevelopment commission meeting, as Wayne said, Joliet will be opening up soon, and then shortly closing down at 96th, where we're going to excavate in order to improve that intersection there, so we can build 96th Street out, which will or should be open up by the end of August, definitely by mid-September. The idea is to coordinate with First Group Engineering to get the traffic signal in. Once that road is built, we should have that traffic signal in very shortly after, and then have the barricades or divider up to block off Joliet off of 41 in order to warrant the traffic signal on 41 and 96 permanently. With that, CCMG is coming to a close. Our Community Crossroads grant for this year. I'd like to thank the Park Department for their work on fixing the splash pad at Huron Lake. Gabe Hernandez, I believe, luckily we found out it was a fuse that had blown, not a control box. So we saved a ton of money there, not having to replace another control box. The corn roast will be August 6th, so we'll look forward to that. And then I'd also like to thank the Public Works Department. They cleaned up the weeds in front of the town hall. They're getting a little long, so our town hall can look just as nice as the rest of the town. And that's all.
Okay. Any questions for Chris? Mr. Westland.
I don't have anything.
Okay. We'll move on to item 8, which is a request to purchase the RTPs. Beth?
We have 8 this evening, 1 from H&G Underground, 2 from B&D Sewer, 2 from Gaskill and Walton, 1 from Keesler Police Supply, another from ESRI Inc., and then lastly Peerless Midwest, totaling $119,902.
Okay. Do I have a motion to pay the request to purchase as submitted by the clerk treasurer?
So moved.
And authorize her to pay.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Wayne. Thank you, Brian. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. That is approved 5-0. We come to item number 9, payment of the bills for the corporation. You have the voucher in front of you. I'm in the amount of $2,527,246.65. Any questions or comments? Then I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to pay the voucher $2,527,246.65.
Thank you, Brian.
Second.
No.
2,500,000.
2 million.
252.
It changed, Jerry.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
Brian had it.
Brian had it right. He got the
Okay.
right paper.
Okay.
Okay,
Looking at the
so,
wrong number.
Let's make sure,
Yeah,
$2,527,246.65. Is that
Correct.
what we have here?
that's the motion. There's support for that?
Second.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. That is approved 5-0. Do I have a motion to